the healing touch of literature is very significant, especially in these days. These days of, the perilous pandemic, you can take great literature, you can explore the poems, which will give you a mental peace. I remember a professor of mine used to tell me long ago in this class. So sometimes he was a chronic bachelor, he was leading a very solitary life. So he used to tell me, see, sometimes when I get upset at night, I just look for that copy of Golden Treasury. Golden Treasury is that the collection of English poems, the classic English poems. So I go through that, and with the collection of Golden Treasury, I go out of my house and start reading it in the. I will even go to the beach and start reading the Golden Treasury. He used to say like that. So these are, this shows how Golden Treasury and the poems in that used to comfort him. So whatever you want. So like, see, again we will go back to Shakespeare for some help here. See, like in this, see, whether it is philosophy you want, whether it is approach to life you want, whether it is different aspects of life you want, for everything, Shakespeare provides such great treasures, we can say. He provides remarkable insight into human life, and he also gives us immeasurable delight. And the beauty of Shakespeare is that he gives valuable lessons without being an obvious moralist. He tells you the story of Macbeth, and he says that these are things which will happen if you are over ambitious. Well, ambition is good, but if you are over ambitious, this is what happened to you. And then different tragedies, he just shows this is what will happen if you act like this. But he doesn't make the moral message obvious, but nevertheless we absorb the moral message. So without our knowledge, he is able to convert us into his line of thinking. And he was a skillful communicator that way, who can change you even without your thinking and your awareness. Now, well, you must be familiar with many love quotations given by Shakespeare. So these are, again, what I said, when we think of the healing touch, we have to measure all this. Philosophy helps us in certain cases. But, well, certain insight into love, which is the most powerful human emotion, also helps us to get solace, especially when we are looking for that. So, well, he has said things like this: love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. So this is, we know that there is a common saying that love is blind, and Shakespeare says there's a reason. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. And the oft quoted quotation, the course of true love never did run smooth. This is from Midsummer Night's Dream. And whoever loved that loved not at first sight. This is from As You Like It. And I think the most striking quotation is from Romeo and Juliet. And this is that famous balcony scene in Romeo and Juliet. Good night, parting is such sweet sorrow, that I shall say good night till it be morrow. So this expresses the intensity of the love of those young people. So these things, well, if you are looking for some solace, some diversion, Shakespeare's world will provide enough examples for that. I'll give you more examples where you will find a kind of consolation when you face different problems. Well, one book which influenced me even as a student was Victory by Joseph Conrad. Joseph Conrad's Victory, I don't know how, it made a powerful impact on me. I'm just giving a personal example. And there may be many of my friends also shared the view. So I would highlight those few aspects of that book. Now, well, the leading character is Axel Haste, who was influenced by his philosopher father. His father was a philosopher and had told him, well, you have to practice detached attachment. In other words, you should not get involved too much in life. Well, in all your relationships, so you will have a relationship with so many people, and during those times, you may have to undergo mental stress and strain, especially in love relationships and even other family relationships. But Axel Haste was under the influence of his father. Father told him, never be too attached to anyone. You have to be attached in a detached manner in life, never involved in life. So this man practiced that philosophy, and finally when he comes across a girl, he finds it very difficult. He has some feelings for her, but then his father's philosophy holds him back. And the pity of it is that she loves him, and finally, it ends in a tragedy. She meets with her death. But in the death, she feels that he has understood her love, and in that way, she conceives her death as a victory. But our hero is not even sure whether the last moment he can confess his love. So, but here there are two things. Coming to that healing or therapeutic aspect, or the solace which you get from literature. Well, if you are familiar with such a philosophy, that will help you in many troubled times. Many troubled times, well, you must all have had the experience. In our life, we pass through many troubled times, especially where emotions are involved. So at that time, when you have a recourse to a person like this, Joseph Conrad and Axel Haste with this kind of philosophy, naturally, it will be a diversion and you will be thinking differently. So that's one thing which I want to tell you. Again, another book, coming back to another book. Well, this is about, now there are so many writers who have concentrated on that search for the ultimate, search for the real meaning of life, search for one's own identity. All these are things in which these writers have tried their, approach. They have tried different approaches in their writings. But here we have Somerset Maugham and his book, The Razor's Edge. So the Razor's Edge itself means a very precarious situation, and in which again there is a character known as Larry. So Larry is in search of the ultimate, and so he is in love with Isabel. That's a character. So Isabel is of a different temperament. Larry is happy with a very simple life, very, very simple means, but he wants to know more about human life. In short, he wants to search for the ultimate. But this is something which is against the taste of Isabel. So as a result of that, they cannot get married, and she gets married to somebody else. But Harry continues to be in his pursuit, and finally he understands. He understands certain basic truths, and finally he ends up as one of the countless taxi drivers of Chicago, saving humanity in his own way. He wants to lead a simple life. And then he finds his happiness through one way. Isabel tries to find her happiness through another way. But both has its own problems. Both the type present problems. But we can think, and we can analyze the character of Larry and find out how far that search for the ultimate helped him. So again, these two books, what I found are highly thought-provoking. And again, these are all, well, in times of disturbed mood, there are certain sections in the books which you can go through and find relief.